Here we go. Okay, this is all gas right now. And then we add oxygen.
For all the things his fans have been curious about over the years, Nick Nolte says we were the first to ask about this.
What you're working with is molten glass.
His glassworking hobby.
How long you been doing this?
Well, I got hooked on it right away. I thought, geez, what a way to calm down, you know?
He's been doing it for some 30 years, making beauty out of fire.
All right, so let's get that down.
Which, in a way, is a lot like his own life. He's had colorful moments, he's had a few meltdowns. But despite his rough exterior, Nick Nolte can seem pretty fragile, too.
You don't really look at acting as a career. It's something that you need to do.
Yeah.
Even now at 75, you still feel the need?
Yeah, it's a need in the sense I can't find anything as complex and interesting to do. But I need it in a story. I don't want to do reality because reality never runs smooth.
Nick Nolte, Mr. Nolte.
So he says he keeps reality at a distance, all while keeping his craft close.
Well, look, I feel things, so I do them. That's just the way I am.
There's an emotional intensity to much of his work, whether it's opposite Jacqueline Bisset
What if I'd done the same thing to your son?
It's not the same.
or his Oscar-nominated turn with Barbra Streisand.
Why would she do that? What are you all hiding?
I don't answer any more questions till you answer mine. And I find you guilty, counselor.
He can hold his own with Robert De Niro. Or with Eddie Murphy.
You ain't got no class, Jack.
Class isn't something you buy. Look at you. You got a $500 suit on. You're still a lowlife.
Yeah, but I look good.
For someone who doesn't like reality, his performances are often so real, they can be hard to watch.
That's what you have to decide. Am I going to take the audience into life, into what really life is, or am I just going to stay in the fringes?
So when Epix TV began the search for an actor who could play a volatile, hard-drinking former U.S. president,
How are you, President Graves?
Pain, Ramona, nothing but pain.
That's good.
Nolte won the role in a landslide.
The concept is so beautiful. It's about a man that was president 25 years ago. He's been in retirement for 25 years.
You're not firing your Secret Service detail.
The hell I'm not, I just did.
Graves is the story of a political epiphany, a man who sets out to right his administration's past wrongs in often unpredictable and very public ways.
I will be your biggest advocate, your beacon of hope, your goddamn president.
You seem like you're always at your best when you're playing somebody that has got some wrongs to right or some road to recovery that you've got to find, and that's what this role is, right?
Well, that is what this role is, but this is about the sin we all carry.
Which is?
Which is what we were born with, being human. You know?
Fallible.
Yeah, fallible. That's what the affliction is.
Nolte knows a little something about fallibility. His Midwest childhood was restless. Born in Omaha, he never found school much to his liking. Sports made the most sense, especially football.
You played at a whole bunch of different colleges, right?
Mm-hmm.
How come you went to so many?
Because I wanted to play football. My only objective to go to college was to play football.
He drifted around, selling fake draft cards for a while, until he was arrested for it in 1961. It wasn't a political statement, he says. It was just a way for underage kids to get into bars.
I buy them for $4, $5, and I'd sell them for $25.
But it was a federal offense. Although it ended in a suspended sentence, the experience so affected him, Nolte used it as the backstory for his homeless character.
What happened to you?
In the film Down and Out in Beverly Hills.
Sold some draft cards. They nailed me for counterfeit government documents. They gave me 45 years and a $75,000 fine.
Acting was Nolte's way of dealing with reality, a coping mechanism. He started small, doing regional theater in places like Minnesota and Arizona. He moved to Hollywood and was 35 before he got his first big break on the TV miniseries Rich Man, Poor Man.
Where have you been, anyway? I wouldn't want to destroy your illusions.
Oh, I don't have any. Not about you.
Oh, you wound me, brother, because I've always hero-worshipped you.
His blue eyes and blonde hair helped land him a Clairol ad. And by the 90s, Nolte was named the sexiest man alive by People magazine. But all that fame, he said, was just another thing he had to cope with. And it turned out he didn't handle it all that well.
You know, there's a moment of fame, of recognition, and then it's over. Now, if you carry that on, then you're trying to stay high. And in the old days, we would get things that would make us high to try to duplicate that feeling.
You'd said you'd struggled with drugs and alcohol pretty much most of your life, right?
Yeah, but I've struggled with everything most of my life.
Did you have to get help?
Once.
It was after one now infamous night back in 2002. He had been taking the drug GHB, the so-called date rape drug. Nolte says he was using it to bulk up, but it's also a powerful tranquilizer.
No, it's lucky to be here.
You could have been killed, or you could have killed someone else.
Yeah, I could have killed somebody else. That would be the tragedy.
He pled no contest, entered rehab.
So how long have you lived here?
About 40 years.
40 years. And eventually returned to his life in Malibu.
Oh, my God.
How old is he?
Oh, he's ancient.
He lives here in relative peace with his longtime companion, Clyde Lane, and their 9-year-old daughter. And he still goes out to that glass-blowing studio almost every day.
So I'm going to do this quick, I think. Now,
It's one escape from the demons that still haunt him. But the best way to keep them at bay, he says, has been to vanish into a role.
if the story reaches up to where the great actor is, the great actor disappears. And the story becomes number one. And the audience is...
That's what you look for.
For Nick Nolte, that's as real as it gets.